came to us and he wanted us to design something custom, something special for his Lamborghini Urus that has been shipped all the way from United States. Alrighty, take it away, Mr. Designer. Welcome back to Vulcan Alpha, where we will be updating you on a Blue Monster car project. Not the F87 M2, also not Geo's E36, not an M3, but 318, but we have some sick plans for that. But actually, in particular, also actually not the Golf R, another car of ours, but the Urus. So let's actually park it in a different way so we can show to you better what has been happening. Because filming against the sun is not really good when we want to talk about the front bumper. Let's start the car. Lapo also has joined us in the meanwhile, and now we can show it to you better. Well, in case you missed the episode number 1, when we talk about the actual purpose of this project, introducing you to the, well, technically customer, but it's also a friend of ours, Lamborghini, that has been renamed actually to Connor's Journeys. So check out his YouTube channel if you want to find out more about his journeys, about the car, because the owner slash driver slash YouTuber influencer is actually sleeping in the car, living in the car. Yeah, he came to us and he wanted us to design something custom, something special for his Lamborghini Urus that has been shipped all the way from United States. Alrighty, take it away, Mr. Designer. Came off and we did some scanning with our Shining 3D's free scan combo scanner. Is there anything extra we should mention when it comes to scanning the car? It was quite an easy process.
Yeah, it was really straightforward. We didn't have any issues. Just applying the dots was the biggest time hurdle, and then scanning was like 30 minutes.
Yeah, there were lots of comments actually about that you can put a masking tape to apply the dots and take them off. We might do it for future projects, but actually what I want to say is that we had the opportunity to play with Shining 3D's latest generation scanner that doesn't even require scanning dots. Stay tuned for that video. Anyway, more importantly is that after that, Lapo went on with designing, and we had many phone calls with Connor to talk through various design options. Actually, well, you can see the process here.
So we're gonna start with the front bumper first. So we see also cost of material and everything else, and we're gonna start with the main crash member that's gonna tie in everything together. I'll show you. This is the main structure. It's gonna protect the radiators and the intercooler. So I also have another option for you. We can move the intercoolers, but it's gonna cost you around 8,000 euros. Yeah. So if you want to do it, we can do it, but we need to, basically my idea was to move the intercooler in front of the radiator, and there's 2 caveats to that. 1, 8,000 euros, and 2, cooling. Because putting intercoolers in front of radiators is gonna obstruct the flow, and if this car is it's already like quite known to overheat, I don't think it's a good idea. But at the end it's gonna look like this, more or less. It's gonna have holes, of course, here, so the air is gonna go through, but it's gonna, I want to create a high pressure zone in front of the coolers, so it's gonna be way more efficient than having just a flat sheet. Like after we did the front bumper, the rear bumper is not gonna take that much because it's, let's say, simpler. What I'm gonna do is finish the design, do a couple of renders. Give me today so I can finish definitely the front bumper, and I can have a quote be made for this, and then we go from there.
There were many calls like that, and eventually we have decided to keep the bumper stock. Yes. No, all the jokes aside, we're gonna show you the final version now on our design on computer. As a matter of fact, this design has been already paid, approved, and it's actually being now laser cut by our metal company provider, I would say, because we don't have laser cutting technology in house yet. We're just a garage startup. Who knows, one day. But before we're gonna show you that, first a massive shout out to the sponsor of today's video, you guys. You can buy our merch. No, before we're gonna do that, let's have another close look at the car, because it's gonna be kind of easier to understand what we are doing. So the top part of the bumper will remain stock, like until here, because this is still...
No, all this also. So
all this.
Basically, if you look from this point, this line, this plane, is, except for this ridge here, it's going to be all remain stock. Also because we have crash sensor here, which we don't want to mess with. So everything under here is going to go, and everything on top is going to stay.
Yes. Then another thing, we have here an infrared camera for some night vision, and we opted to install 2 infrared lights.
Yeah, to help with view.
With the view, so even like an improvement of functionality of the car. The coolers, we spoke about multiple options of possibly relocating them for design purposes, but eventually we decided against it.
Sense, yeah.
It makes no sense because it's there for a reason. It's we keep it there, but the options have been discussed. And
actually, to be honest, the options were to put it in the middle in front of the coolers. One, it was very expensive. B, it could have created problems with cooling, and C, if we ever bumped into something, there's no replacement, like fast replacement for him. So the idea is if he smashes onto something and he can staying with the OEM one, he can order it and have it replaced.
Exactly.
Instead of waiting maybe 6 months to have a new one fabricated. So that's the things that we need to juggle with in these situations.
And another benefit, actually look at the stock bumper. It is completely open, so you can, well, almost stick your fist through it and have a massive rock damage the stock coolers, and not really SUV-ish or off-road sensitive. So in our case of the bumper, it will be probably more protective.
That's the whole idea. So it's going to increase approach angle for off-roading. It's going to protect all the main elements that needs to be protected, and it's going to look cool.
Yeah, okay, all right. Let's go to our computer, to our fancy rig that has been built by Der Bauer, a friend of ours, that's also building 3 more editing rigs for us. And let's show you the design. By the way, the car will be picked up tomorrow when I will be having my race. So for you probably today, if this video gets published on a Friday. And then will be brought back because Connor has some events to attend. But by that time, hopefully, most likely the bumper will already arrive here and we'll show you the assembly. And after that, we still have to do the rear. Anyway, back to the office. Alrighty, take it away, Mr. Designer.
As we said before, after a lot of back and forth with Connor, we ended up with this design, which is, I think, a really good final iteration. As you can see, I tried to continue all the body lines and give it a cohesive look. You can see also over here, this flows together, and even if you turn it around, everything is still flowing together quite nicely. Of course, you have the limitations of sheet metal, which is not very prone to be curvy, but very straight. So this is what I was talking before, is these are the 4 lights. You can see them also on the other side. They're completely enclosed by some panels that are meshed with the same design as the OEM, so hexagonal, quite oblong hexagons. These are going to protect the LEDs, the lenses, and are going to create a tough, also structurally are going to help with stability. Furthermore, these are the lights, the infrared lights that are going to help with vision at night. Here is the hole for the parking camera. Up here we have the famous infrared camera.
Why is it famous?
Because it's cool.
Okay.
I think.
Alright.
Then we relocated the parking sensors with some special brackets that are going to be resin printed in black. You can see them here are in triangular shape, and down here it's rounded. And on the sides it's nested in the steel structure. Furthermore, down you have a removable panel for the intercoolers. The same situation for the main cooler, core cooler, let's call it that, because it's multiple coolers in one, which is going to be for the radiator, the aircon, the oil coolers, so it's a lot of stuff. These are in 2-piece, so they're modular, so if one gets damaged you can replace it. There's a cover for the the front
hinge. Front hinge.
Yeah. Which can be removed, and behind it there's a, let's say, a shout out to all the Americans, bolt action. Yeah.
Bolt action.
Bolt action. Yeah.
Okay.
Bolt action pin. So it's not right here, there's not visible, but there's a threaded section that can be secured in place, so it's not gonna rattle. There's gonna be 2 towing points, whatever he wants to use them for. They're gonna be quite stout and help also with give it more protection up front. Furthermore, because I think he's gonna be smashing on a lot of stuff, I added 2.
Let's hope not, but there might be a chance.
Well, it's made for that, so.
He's a YouTuber after all. Today I smashed my Urus against...
Yeah, whistling diesel style.
Yeah, okay.
There are 2 wear pads made out of black nylon, which are going to be replaceable, and so it's not going to damage directly the sheet metal, but it's going to damage them. And furthermore, I'm going to take off the bumper because you can see it better from bumper. Here you have the oil pan, which is something you don't want to mess with because if you puncture the oil pan, you're going to be stranded. So we decided to protect it with a thick plate of aluminum. More precisely, it's going to be 6061, 6mm laser cut and bent. So you can see you have, there's still going to be airflow around all the engine components, but it's going to be well protected. If you look at the side, you can see we dramatically increased the ground clearance and the approach angle of the vehicle by scooping up everything underneath. So he's going to be able to go right on the things that he wants to go on top.
All right.
Oopsies. And yeah, I think the design, I'm very happy with the design. I think it's very cohesive with the styling of the car, and it's gonna provide all the, let's say, features that he's gonna need for going around the world.
Fantastic. As mentioned, the design is now being already laser cut by our metal supplier. The car will go away, come back. We're gonna fabricate the bumper here. Then we're also gonna, in the meantime, we'll be designing the back bumper. This is, at the end of the day, tailored to customers' wishes. So, of course, you can say, but I would have done differently. There were multiple iterations. Customer is king. This is what he wanted. This is what we made. So, at this point in time, there are still lots of questions on social media, to me privately. What is Vulcan Alpha actually? Are you just like 3D scanning, 3D printing? Yes, we can 3D scan your car for your own project. We can 3D print the various prototypes. We can 3D print done components. We can design complete body kits and cars either for individuals, either for companies. Just simply engineering dream solutions. And the beautiful part about this design, we have everything already like, well, in CAD, the file is ready. If you are in Dubai, if you are wherever, we can just send it over, well, sell it, of course, to you, and you can fabricate it locally. So you don't have to ship the car all the way to us, like in case of Connor when he shipped the car to Europe for it to be done. We're completely open, so if there are any Urus owners out there that want to have something like this, or maybe with some changes, get in touch. And I think that's kind of it. So yeah, let us know in the comments what you liked, whether you have any questions, and on to the next one when we'll be fabricating actually the bumper. So
mounting it on the car.
Mounting on the car, and also showing you, of course, the rear and many more other projects, including the E36.